4 panelists, 5 topics, 7 short minutes. It's Fast 5 here on the flip side. Massive iceberg about to break off of Antarctica. Colin, what say you?
It's not global warming, apparently. So let's go back in time, about 10,500 years ago, when we had the Bering Land Bridge, we had England and Ireland and Scotland were connected to mainland Europe, we had the Mediterranean was a lake, the Black Sea was not there. What happened? All the glaciers melted. What did that lead to? The world water level rising by 300 feet, which caused huge changes. We're in the midst of that happening. Would I buy property in southern Florida right now? No.
Okay. Janice?
I think that's been my discussion for years, is climate change. It's like this Earth goes through climate change, and we've gone through ice ages and we've gone through warm periods, and it's nothing that man did. You know, when we went through the ice ages, did man really affect that? Or is it just something that's a natural cyclical process?
Is the process accelerating at a tremendous rate because of the amount of carbon dioxide that we have pumped into the atmosphere? Is it? Do the vast majority of climate scientists think it is?
I have to agree. I think climate change is for real. Again, this is a left versus a right. It shouldn't be. It should be what is the facts. It's reality. It's getting warmer. What's going to happen? Things are going to melt. Things are going to change.
And the water level's going to rise.
The water levels, yeah, will rise. Or we will get so caught up in nuclear arsenals around the world that we'll destroy ourselves.
And cause nuclear winter.
And if you don't think that that's not coming, it's coming. You know, the end of time will come. Will it be on the person in outer space that controls it and the God that we all understand, our God of understanding, or will it be ourselves destroying ourselves?
Well, I just hope it doesn't happen when we're recording the flip side. That's all I got to say. Next topic.
It would be the best episode ever.
Yeah, Megyn Kelly being replaced by Tucker Carlson at Fox. Megyn is going to NBC. Janice, what say you?
It's an interesting switch from Fox to NBC. We'll be curious to see how things go for her there.
All right. Ron?
I liked Tucker Carlson before. Being on Fox, which is unfair and balanced, which is not fair and balanced.
Unfair and unbalanced?
Yeah, it's unfair and unbalanced.
And off balance.
I'm not so sure how Tucker will make out. That Fox Network will make it because there's a group of followers.
Right.
I originally thought Trump and a couple of these folks would have another network. But since he won, I think he may control a couple of other networks that are already in existence.
TNN was already taken, so the Trump network would have to find
so
a different name.
It's going to be interesting. I think she will do a good job, but she didn't put up with his shenanigans. She was willing to strike back, and I like that in somebody that's willing to take on power.
Colin?
Well, so I think there's a couple of different things there. The irony there is Tucker Carlson used to be on CNN, so let's remember that. Fox is going through a process of reinvention with some of the changes they've made at the very top. They're trying to be, although I agree with Ron, they have certainly not been fair and balanced, and I think historically, if you want to talk about a fake news network, they're probably your best bet along with MSNBC. But who cares? I mean, honestly.
Okay. All right. I will say, from my perspective, Megyn did not ingratiate herself with me in the final. I think she's gotten too big for her britches. That's my personal opinion. She started out as a pretty good reporter, very fair, in my opinion. I don't know. So I've not been impressed recently, but that's just me. All right. Apple's weak year takes a bite out of Tim Cook's salary. Colin?
It was bound to come down. I think the companion story to that is Samsung has had one of their best quarters, even though, aside from the phones that spontaneously combusted, they've had a great quarter. Look, Apple innovated a lot of things. They stole a lot of ideas. They came out with these devices that they somehow Pavlovianly trained a certain segment of the population to just flock and use. But the shine is wearing off. You have a lot of choices. So it was bound to happen. They had a rise, as happens always in capitalism. You have a product, it's very popular, you do really well. It's impossible to keep innovating at the pace that you maintain that. Eventually it's going to come back down, and they'll maybe come up with the new product that's going to be innovative, and then they'll be in the same position.
In other words, Tim Cook isn't Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs was an egomaniacal, very self-inflated person, so his not being Steve Jobs is probably a good thing.
Is he kind of like Donald Trump?
That's a great point, Ron. He's not as orange.
Okay.
Janice?
Well, number one, I think the CEO salaries should be in comparison in a ratio with the rest of the staff and the rest of the team.
He's not
And-
starving, by the way.
Exactly.
Even with his cut.
Exactly. And I think, he definitely has shoes to fill with Steve leaving or dying and leaving the earth. And, I definitely think there's a cult following in Apple. And I remember a video I saw years ago with the HTC phone versus the Apple phone. And it was about all the different things that the HTC phone could do that the new iPhone couldn't do. But the person coming into the store still wanted the iPhone
Because it had the bigger GBs.
because it was an Apple product.
Right.
So, but I do agree with Colin that people are wising up to the fact that there is competition out there. There are other products out there that are the same, if not better, for less money, whatever.
Bring back BlackBerry.
Apparently they're trying to. I'm not going to hold my
That's
breath
funny.
on that success.
All right.
But I feel like
Trump
BlackBerry.
blasts Apprentice ratings. I'm going to start this one. I have no clue why that would be on his radar screen. For any number of reasons. I just don't get that
He
one.
gets bored at 3 o'clock in the morning when he's sitting there looking at his Twitter screen.
Anything on that one?
Yeah, I don't think there was too many Apprentice episodes over the time that was on that I missed.
Okay.
I watched them, and I thought he did a good job on a lot of them. It's going to his head as things go to people's heads that was successful.
Power tends to corrupt.
Absolute
power
power,
corrupts. Absolutely.
absolutely.
All right. Engine drops out of B-52 bomber during Air Force training mission. What do you think about that one, Janice?
I would say that's a flight critical part.
Yeah, I would think so. Colin?
Well, and more seriously, and I think this is a serious issue that we should talk about. The B-52
Easy
is
for you to say.
a
Old.
weapon system that is about 70 years old.
Right.
It's a critical weapon system, but it's one that we probably should be looking pretty hard at replacing now.
Kind of like the space shuttle, there comes a time where it needs to be retired and the new improved model brought out.
I think in the case of the space shuttle, the Orion capsule is arguably the newer, better improved model.
I think 2040 they have a new one, like a B-20 something, 21 or 29.
Well, that's just 100 years
The
after this one
B-17.
came out, because I remember there's a movie called Dr. Strangelove, famous Stanley Kubrick
1962, I believe.
movie, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Loved the Bomb. Any rate, I'm going to take the last word on that. Stay tuned. Last call is next.